The letter arrived with no return address. The handwriting, odd, almost childlike, slanted awkwardly across the page. And, at the bottom, a symbol, a circle with a cross through it. The first line read, "This is the Zodiac speaking." What followed would haunt investigators for decades. Codes no one could decipher. Threats no one could ignore. And a killer who was never caught. It started in Northern California in the late 1960s, a time of free love, revolution, and change. But as the world looked forward, something ancient lurked in the shadows. Something primal. The thrill of the hunt. The need to kill. 5 confirmed murders. At least 37 claimed. A series of letters taunting police and the media. And a cipher. One so complex it would take over 50 years to crack. But even with all the clues, the suspects, the theories, one terrifying truth remains. The Zodiac Killer was never identified. This is the chilling case of the Zodiac Killer. A murderer who played games with the world and won. But what if the answers have been hiding in plain sight all along? What if the Zodiac never really disappeared? It was the 4th of July weekend, 1969. Blue Rock Springs Park. A couple sat in a car, enjoying the stillness of the night. Then headlights. A car pulling up behind them. A figure stepping out, walking toward their window. The man raised a flashlight, blinding them for a second, and then, without a word, he opened fire. Bullets tore through the night. The sound of gunfire echoed through the empty lot. One victim survived. One did not. But the real horror came later. Days after the attack, 3 nearly identical letters were sent to the San Francisco Chronicle, the San Francisco Examiner, and the Vallejo Times-Herald. Each one contained a cryptic message and a demand. Print this in your papers, or more people will die. Attached was a cipher, one that, when decoded, carried a simple but chilling statement. I like killing people because it is so much fun. The Zodiac had introduced himself to the world, and he was just getting started. Lake Berryessa, 1969. A warm September afternoon. Another couple, enjoying the quiet of nature. Then, footsteps. A man in a hood, a black executioner's mask, approaching with a gun. The Zodiac wasn't just killing anymore. He was performing. He tied the victims up, spoke to them calmly. Then, without hesitation, he stabbed them repeatedly. When he left, he didn't just flee into the woods. He walked back to their car and, with a marker, wrote on the door, Vallejo, December 20th, 68, July 4th, 69, September 27-69-6:30. By knife. He wanted the world to know. He wanted credit. And just when investigators thought they were dealing with a killer obsessed with secrecy, the Zodiac did something unexpected. He made a call. To the police. To confess. Act 3. The letters, the ciphers, the taunts. The Zodiac's letters were unlike anything law enforcement had ever seen. They weren't just threats. They were games. Codes filled with symbols and riddles, promising to reveal his identity if only someone could crack them. Some are solved. Others remain a mystery to this day. The most famous? The 340-character cipher, sent in 1969. For decades, the best cryptographers in the world tried and failed to break it. Until 2020. That's when a team of amateur code breakers finally uncovered its message. I hope you are having lots of fun in trying to catch me. I am not afraid of the gas chamber, because I have enough slaves to work for me, where everyone else has nothing when they reach paradise. But even with the solution, there was no name, no real clue as to who he was. Just more taunts, more mystery. Act 4. The suspects and theories. Who was the Zodiac? The list of suspects is long. Arthur Lee Allen, the man police watched for years, only to find no concrete proof. Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber, who some believe fits the profile too well. A man known as Gary Francis Post, whose alleged connections to the Zodiac have sparked debates even today. Some believe the Zodiac was an intelligent loner. Others think he was part of something bigger, a network, a group, a cult. A killer who didn't work alone. And then there's the biggest question of all. Did he stop? Or did he simply change? Take on a new identity? A new hunting ground? Could he still be out there, even now? Final thought. The unsolved mystery. After more than 50 years, we still don't know. The Zodiac Killer played a game with the world, and he may have won. But what do you think? Was the real Zodiac ever identified? Or is the truth still waiting, buried in a cipher no one has cracked yet? Drop your theories in the comments below, because this mystery isn't over. Not yet.